Morning everybody, we're out here by Barron's, Alberta today taking a look at some barley, some dryland barley. And as you can see, it's pretty stressed out. Bottom leaves are starting to drop off, leaves are rolling up. You know, the flag leaves are emerging and suffering here. And this is only, I'd say 14 to 16 inches tall, so it's at this rate the heads aren't even going to be at my knees. So we're really starting to suffer here. We need rain bad, real bad. Here's the corn that last week was totally sandblasted off. You can see we got 3 new leaves have pretty much emerged on this since last week. You can still see that the the first leaf is toast, second leaf is toast, the third leaf is you know, half dead. But it's rapidly putting out new growth, and it's come a long ways already. Checking out some peas today, and we got some flower buds are appearing, and some of them are starting to open here. So we're at a very, very early bloom in these peas. There's still almost no sign of disease, a couple little spots here and there, but very little. But we are seeing some stress, particularly on the lower leaves. You know, we haven't had rain here for weeks, so we're really starting to dry out. If we don't get rain soon, there won't be a whole lot here to harvest. Okay, I'm out here in a pea field today with Bruce McKinnon from BASF, and he's going to talk to you about fungicides a little today.
All right, thanks Lyle, good morning. As we get into pea crops that are closing in on first flower, it's a good time to get out and scout and have a look at whether you have some any of that Microsurella or Ascochyta starting to move up the plant. We've had some pretty dry conditions. We've got a lot of space between the rows, but with some showers coming in, we could see some disease even starting to move up. So it's important to scout, make that decision economics, and based on, you know, the application of a fungicide like Preaxer, where you're going to get the protection throughout the plant of peas at application time at about first flower, plus you'll get some, you know, plant health benefits as well to mitigate some stress. But really it goes back to just figuring out what is your yield potential, what is the risk of disease or disease present, and trying to protect that yield as we go forward into the summer and flowers now starting to open. So the whole idea behind a fungicide is protecting that yield, and really it's about assessing it at coming into first flower, making that decision and applying it at the right time to protect your yield. So a product like Preaxer with 3 modes of action really give you multiple modes of action to allow you to get good protection on. What we'll be dealing with mostly in this area would be Ascochyta as it comes in early.
Okay, thank you Bruce.
I don't know how well you can see this, but I just pulled into a field here west of Nobleford, and there's a whole pile of little grasshoppers are jumping around, and you can see we got quite a bit of damage here. This is just right on the field borders, and they are just chewing the crap out of this wheat already. So we're gonna have to spray something in here for them.
Well, that's looking promising for a Monday evening rain shower, so hopefully it moves over here and we get some of that.
Hey, here's a new weed for you. This is spear-leaved goosefoot, so called because the leaves kind of look like a goose's foot or a kind of spearhead, like a boar spear kind of thing. And while I'm at it, here is some knotweed. So this is a fairly common weed, mostly in irrigated areas or south of Lethbridge. You see it a lot. It'll always be around. It's not particularly hard to kill, either one of these. This field is canola, so it's going to get Liberty, which should do a pretty good job at burning all these off.
Okay, here's just a quick refresher on the staging for manipulated growth regulator. Here's a handful of wheat I just yanked out of a field. So everything's coming along nicely. This is an irrigated crop, so no drought stress here. And here I cut one off at the crown node here. And it's starting to push up the nodes. You can see another node here and another node right here. So, and then here's where the head is right here. So we're trying to shorten the space here. Right now that's only about 1/4 of an inch. So we still got, we're still in good timing. So can get her done anytime now.
Okay, we're out in the rye this morning, and everything here is in full flower and looking great.
Waist high on me now, which is a good, you know, 4 feet tall at least. Here's one for you hay fever sufferers. Check out the pollen blowing across this rye field in the gusting wind. Up in Carmangay in one of my beer fields, this is AC Synergy dryland malt barley. It actually rained up here, so decent soil moisture in the upper profile at the moment, which is nice. We really needed that. We're starting to see some severe drought stress here. Everything's pretty well stunted. We're 12 inches tall. We got flag leaf coming out, so hopefully this will perk up and gain some height to it yet. Fortunately, we do have decent sized heads in the stem, so we just needed that moisture to get those developed. Just investigating a flax field right now, and you can see the holes in the ground from last night's hail up here. So these are pretty good sized hailstorm stones, and definitely traveling at a pretty good speed to put a hole like that in the ground. Yeah, luckily this is flax, so it didn't really seem to get damaged very much. Okay, I'm up east of Barron's here, looking at a malt barley field. This is AC Synergy, and it was short and drought stressed, and it was just starting to see a little bit of flag leaf emergence, and it got hit in last night's hailstorm, so Tuesday night, and as you can see, it's chopped off pretty good. 50 to 60% of the stems are probably on the ground. So we're going to have hail insurance come out and take a look and assess this. Some of these were high enough up that the head is still below in the stem, but it's undoubtedly going to be bruised. And others were cut off pretty close to the ground down here, so those won't do much. Today I just did my first sweep in a canola field. We're just at early bolting stage here. It's actually pretty hard to sweep it when it's this short. We got a painted lady caterpillar in there. We got one lonely little army worm in there, and there's about 18 weevils in here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. That's already getting somewhat close to threshold, which would be about 25 to 26 this time of the year. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.